Hey there, we're Talia and Ophira Edut, identical twins and astrologers. Welcome to AstroTwins Radio, where we bring the stars down to Earth. Hello, Astro fam. It's Tali coming at you from New York City. It's a week of June 17th to 23rd, and man, it has been a busy week for us. We've been in the studio recording the audiobook for The Astrology Advantage, our new book that comes out this August 27th. And while I've spent an admitted 5 hours in a private karaoke room with friends, 8 hours in a recording booth was a whole new experience. I've learned tricks like melt a Ricola in hot water with honey and you're golden. So anyways, this is going to be a very different week because we're moving from one sign dominating the skies to another. So helpful it was indeed to have the Sun, communicator Mercury, pleasant Venus, and live out loud Jupiter all in Gemini last week, while in a recording booth, Gemini's all about talking and communicating and being super loquacious and articulate. Now, 3 of those planets are moving on to Cancer, bringing this softer era in for us all. So Monday, it already begins with Mercury and Venus shifting gears. First Venus, then Mercury will downshift into Cancer. That is absolutely guaranteed to change the mood from this buzzy, outgoing, and curious energy to an internal, reflective, and the moody vibes that watery Cancer season brings. Cancer season will begin on that note this Thursday with the solstice. That's the way it goes every single year. The summer solstice for us here in the Northern Hemisphere always dovetails with the sun hitting that 0-degree Cancer mark. And the sun is at its highest point in the Northern Hemisphere, its highest point in the sky. And solstice actually translates into solstistere, which I don't know if I'm butchering, sorry. Latin was not in my art school palette there, but should have been actually, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So sun standing still is what it translates into. So for 3 days, the sun appears to stand still in the sky. And so where do you need to stop, stand still, reflect, take stock? You may want to start with home base because that's where the energy tends to point. And by home base, that could mean your physical home. It could mean your body, which is your soul's address here on Earth. I have gone out to dinner quite a few times. I mean, that's kind of the way it goes in New York. It's like, well, I could go grocery shopping or I could sample the amazing fare that someone has prepared here that is almost the same price. Of course, restaurants are pricier, but you know what? Food here is a lot more affordable than it is in other places I've been traveling lately. So going out is, almost easier, but also very decadent, very social. And I feel like Cancer is telling me personally and all of us to pay attention to how we nourish ourselves, to how we give ourselves that necessary flow time, being a water sign. Now, Cancer is cardinal water, which is interesting. That's kind of translates into alpha female energy if we're going to genderize. If we genderize, Cancer is the mother and Capricorn is the father, even though Capricorn is a yin sign. It's associated with Saturn, its ruler, which is a very fatherly planet. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and it cycles us through feminine parts of ourselves that wax and wane. Our moon cycles, our internal cycles that change day to day. The moon actually changes zodiac signs every 2.5 days. So when you're reading your daily forecast from us, oftentimes we'll talk about the moon because the other planets and the sun are hanging out for a while. but the moon is what adds that daily bit of color, that splash to your forecast and the collective vibes. So that's why if Cancer season might make you feel a bit more in tune with your feelings, yet unable to pinpoint one ongoing feeling, don't don't be hard on yourself and maybe try to take things in smaller bites. Gemini season is also a time for taking things in smaller bites because we're kind of like Ophi's new puppy Magnolia. I just went for a walk with them this morning and there weren't really a lot of squirrels for her to chase, but every time a dog would walk by, she'd want to jump up and give it a floppy hug. That's Gemini season. Cancer season is more like the older dogs who she tried to jump on, who are like, excuse me, what are you doing? Boundaries, space. That's where we're going now. It's time to be civilized and hang out on a sunny patch by the window. Now, Cancer is not antisocial. It's just more curated in its social energy. Cancer, being a more enduring cardinal sign, wants to invest in relationships that last, that have a future. It's not just about, hey, what's up? Who are you? That was Gemini season. Now we're moving towards, hey, could we build a family together? Could we create a support network for each other? Could we be chosen family for each other? I personally don't have kids, so I live on the other side of the country from the rest of my family. Our parents are in Detroit and our sister Leora's in Detroit. Ophi's in New York, so I'm the solo Edut over on the West Coast. So I've had to make a chosen fam for myself. Well, it helps have an 11th house sun, of course, but I feel that is what I need to do to give myself the support that I personally need to wake up every morning and not feel alone in the world. Now, that's a melancholy vibe that can hit sometimes. Cancer, being this alpha energy, shows up sometimes as the all-sacrificing mother who gives and gives, never asks for anything in return, but maybe struggles a little bit to receive. And that's something that we may all grapple with. And of course, a recommendation is to push yourself to ask for what you need before you let that resentment build up. We all know the saying that resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to keel over. It doesn't work that way. We just may have more support around us than we need, but sometimes Cancer energy can bring a tougher shell where people don't even realize that you need something. So luckily, the opposite energy of Capricorn is going to be available not once, but twice, with 2 full moons in Capricorn that are bookending Cancer season. So the first one is on June 21st, and the next one is on July 21st. So this is not the same as a blue moon. A blue moon is when you get 2 full moons in 1 month. But it is a double header of Capricorn full moons, which I think is pretty exciting because it's the counterbalance to Cancer. Now, Capricorn is able to pull back from the emotionality and look at it rationally, objectively. So while the swirl and storm of feelings is brewing, Capricorn goes, okay, let's be level-headed here. Let's look at the big picture. What are our goals? Where do we want to succeed? What milestones do we want to achieve over the next 30 days? Boom. And so with that in mind, I hereby invite you to join us for the Summer of Success Fest, our virtual festival that is going to begin on Friday, June 21st, with a full moon in Capricorn ritual for the strawberry moon to kick off a fruitful summer. And then we're doing a 30-day success quest where we're going to send you some motivational success starters to get you going. And then we wrap it up with a moonlight manifestation on July the 21st with that full moon. But that's not all, because 8/8 is the Lion's Gate, and we have a special abundance ritual that we're doing as well. So there's 2 Success Fest passes. There's a free pass that gets you the 30-day quest. And then there's the Lionsgate Pass, which will have all sorts of goodies in it, including a Lionsgate report with astronumerology for your sign, how to activate abundance. You get a hardcover copy of our book, The Astrology Advantage. We're going to be doing a special workshop for 8/8 to activate your abundance, and you'll get entered into winning a trip to San Francisco to come get a reading with us. We're partnering with astrology.com on this. And what's really exciting to me is just the way we're looking at success, too. Success is not about crushing your goals or hustling, unless that's your thing. For some people, that is, they're career focused this summer, and that's what they're doing. But we define success as living in alignment with your truth. And there's no better way to connect to that than through your astrological chart that has a GPS to your definition of success. So we'll be walking you through that during the whole summer of success, the 30-day quest, where, you just get a little bolster. And even if you try half of them or just ponder on the food for thought we provide for the day, guarantee you will feel a transformational shift over the coming 30 days. There's so much duality that we have to live in right now. We feel out of control with world events, but we know we have to also go on in our own lives while feeling the pain and suffering of others, while dealing with rights being hanging in the balance, with an election that's scary. And it can help to feel a sense of control over your personal life, at least. We can control our corners of the world. We can influence and shape them. Maybe your idea of success is making sure there's a voter registration drive, or that the young people in your community are ready to vote in the election. It could be all sorts of things. We'll leave that up to you, but we will provide the platform, the motivation, and plenty of food for thought, and a fun prize if you're our lucky winner for 8/8. The invitation is here for you. We'll be posting all about it on our social media at AstroTwins, so make sure to follow us there on Instagram, and you will not miss out. Have a cozy, warm, soft serve kind of summer starter with all this Cancer, sending you woven hammock dreams and nurturing mama bear hugs. We'll be back for more next week. As always, thanks for listening. You can discover more of your star power at astrocell.com, and be sure to follow us on social at AstroTwins. Join us next time for more cosmic fun.